Favorite, we are going to do the general ledger, and we are going to do this for the month ended 31 October 2024. We only have to do bank, debtors control, trading, stock sales, and costs of sales. So remember, when you are doing general ledgers, you want to start with your opening balances and totals. And here we have been provided with the opening balances and totals on the 1st of October 2024. So that's your first step. So you go to your answer book and you're not doing vehicles now, so you are ignoring that one. However, you do have to do bank. So we were even nice here. We told you it has a debit balance. So in other words, you have a favorable bank balance on the 1st of October 2024. So balance brought down. So money that you had left after September that you can now use in October. Then you also had some trading stock. Trading stock is an asset, and assets have their balances on the debit side. October, the first balance brought down 8,870. And then some of your debtors still owed you money. So debtors are also assets. Therefore, we are still on the debit side. Balance brought down 10,500. Then from the previous months, you had some sales. So you go to your sales account. Just quickly do that. There we go. Sales is an income account. Income and expense accounts have totals. And remember that we said sales increase on the credit side. Therefore, they have their total on the credit side. And then cost of sales is an expense, therefore on the debit side. So please go and study your debits and credits. Brought down 420. Okay, righto. So moving on. Now you have to take each one of your journals and you have to post that information to your ledger. So when we are looking at our cash receipts journal means that we received money. Therefore, we have more money in the bank. 280,000. The reason why we have more money in the bank is because we had more sales. We can't have sales without trading stock leaving our business. That's why we have costs of sales. And then we also receive some money from our debtors. So in other words, they made payment towards their accounts. So starting with bank. Bank in the CRJ means that I had receipts, cash receipts journal. Okay, so we had to wait until the last day of the month to see what our total receipts were in the CRJ. So we are increasing this asset with a debit entry. The reason why we received this money, because now we have to do the credit. So we received it because we had sales. So we go down to sales. By the last day, in total received, therefore bank, as per my CRJ, 220,000. I know that I cannot have sales without having this additional expense cost of sales. So we're increasing cost of sales because of the trading stock that left my business for cash sales. So CRJ, and that is 97,400. Sorry, I'm just going to enter a row here and move that there. Okay, because I know there's still a DJ. Okay, so that is my cost of sales. And I now have this as an additional expense because the trading stock left my business, which means that I have to go to my trading stock account and I have to say that I actually no longer have this stock. So I need to decrease the account because of the trading stock that left my business in the form of a cost of sales expense. And this was cash sales. That's why it's CRJ. Okay, so just ignore the fact that you currently only showing 8,870 trading stock, because remember, for all of the journals, we wait until month end to post it to the ledger, and we still have to do the CPJ. So we obviously purchase more stock somewhere during the year, okay, month. Then we also received money from our debtors. So the debtors no longer owe us that amount. They are now decreasing because we received, therefore bank, as recorded in the CRJ, 60,000 Rand. Moving on to the next journal. We also had a cash payments journal. So in other words, we no longer have all of this money because we made some payments for trading stock, wages, and some other things. They didn't give us the details for those some other things, so we can't post that to our ledgers. We can only post the information that we do have. So our bank decreased, so we're crediting bank by the last day with our total payments for the month, as recorded in my CPJ 349890. What I purchased is trading stock. So I'm going to go to trading stock and I'm going to say that I have more trading stock because I paid, so bank, as recorded in my CPJ 302,400, right? Then wages, we don't have to do that account, so we are just literally going to ignore that information. We can't post sundry because we don't have the details regarding what is within the sundry accounts. Then moving on, we also have a debtors journal. So debtors journal means that we now had sales, but we didn't receive the money. So it's not bank, it is debtors control. So my debtors now owe me 420,000 more by end of month. The reason why they owe me more is because of the sales as recorded in the DJ 420,000, which means that we are going to go to that sales account and we are going to say that we have even more sales, but this time it's not cash sales, so not bank. It is the debtors that owe us money for these sales transactions, and that is 420,000. I also know that I cannot have sales without the trading stock leaving my business in the form of a cost of sales expense. So trading stock, now as per the DJ, 213,000. Okay, right, let's do that. So that means that I have to go to my trading stock account and I have to show that I no longer have this trading stock because this is now the cost that I had to incur in order to have my credit sales in the DJ of 213,000. And that was it. That's the only information. So now we are just going to balance our accounts. And to balance the accounts, we're going to add everything that we currently have on the debit side. Why is it doing this? Don't do this. There we go. Going to add everything that we have on the debit side. Is it going to do it again? Let me just quickly close this and open it again. Oh, there we go. Because my calculator is clearly sleeping. Okay, so add everything on the debit side. Compare it to the credit side. Which side is the bigger one? It's clearly the debit side. So I'm going to write that total in on both sides. So I'm balancing, making equal. But now the credit side isn't equal to what I'm saying the total is. So I find the difference. And that is now my balance. I just want to double check that I didn't make a typo now. 700 minus 349,890. Okay, no, it's fine. Okay, so this is my balance. So in other words, this is the money that I haven't yet used this month that I'm carrying down to take with me into November as a balance brought down. So I can spend this money in November. Must be nice. Then debtors control. So once again, we're going to add everything on the debit side. Compare that to what we have on the credit side. Clearly, the debit side is a lot bigger. So we add that total on both sides. Then we find the difference between the smaller side and the total. So in other words, the credit side and the total. And that is my balance. Carried down. So the debtors are hopefully going to make payment to me in November. Otherwise, I might have some problems here. Brought down 370,500 that they owe me. Okay, same with our trading stock. So starting with the debit side, that is more than what we currently have on the credit side. We can double check minus the credit side. Yes. So we have 87 Rand, 870 Rand difference there. So I'm adding the debit side. I'm writing that total on both sides because the debit side is the bigger one. Then what I did is I subtracted what I currently have on the credit side, which said that I then had a difference of 870. So this is the trading stock that I've left at month end that I'm hopefully going to then sell in November. So balance bought down 870 Rand. Then for your nominal accounts, we only add the totals. We don't balance. So 800,000 plus 220 plus 420. So our total sales is now accumulated to 1.44 million. And then we say that on the 1st of November, we're going to start with this total that we brought down from October. And then we do the same for our cost of sales. So started with 420,000 plus the 97,400 plus 213. So our total cost of sales starting on the 1st of November. So total brought down from October is 730,400. Just note that we don't draw the double lines. That's not just because I inserted another row there. So there we go. Okay, so it should look like that. And that is your general ledger